Hey guys, it's been a minute since I've uploaded on this channel and it kind of sucks because I always want to pump out good content for you guys, but I've just been dealing with some health issues and stuff. I made a community post at some point, but chronic pain on top of a bunch of other health issues, it gets crazy. So anyways, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that right now because I want to get into this video and hopefully help a lot of you guys out. So I know a lot of you guys have been hit with reuse content policy strikes on YouTube, which basically that means that your monetization is paused or you won't be able to monetize your channel. Even if you get to 10 million engaged views, you get hit with this reuse content policy strike, but this basically freezes your money. Now, luckily, you can appeal it and actually get your money and continue to be monetized. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about one of my channels that got hit with the reuse content policy strike and how I appealed it to get monetized again. Now, recently on this random channel that I got hit with this reuse content policy, which honestly, in my opinion, a lot of people are like, I get this on every single channel. And I'm like, brother, this is the first time I've had this happen. Most of the time, you shouldn't be getting hit with this. Although I do understand that YouTube AI is pretty much like rogue and hits people with this all the time. Regardless, I don't know. It was a commentary niche channel, so obviously they get hit with this a lot less than if you're just stitching random clips together like ranking, although you can get monetized with that for sure. So I've actually never gotten hit with the YouTube content reuse policy before. And my first reaction, like legit, was like, wow, this is great, because everybody's been asking me how to actually win this. You know, some people put this behind a paywall or actually make you guys pay for this information. And I know a lot of you guys have faced this issue or may face this issue in the future, obviously. So I'm going to tell you guys everything I know about this. And literally one day after I got hit with this content reuse policy, I got an email back after I appealed from YouTube and said, oh, you're successful. You can monetize your channel again. Okay. All right, YouTube. So here's how we actually win this thing. The basic idea behind an appeal video is that you're trying to explain to YouTube why your content is transformative. Okay, well, hold up. This is actually a different word. Let me, Okay, you're trying to explain to YouTube why your content is transformative. Now, this is niche specific because how you transform ranking content is different from how you transform commentary content. You understand? Like in commentary, there might be a voiceover, there might be more cuts and zooms, and in ranking, for example, there might be more sound effects, transitions, maybe a voiceover before the clips, etc. So I'm going to give you the appeal script I use, but I can't just tell you everything to say because you're going to need to use your brain, your two brain cells, and you're going to need to put it together specifically for your channel. Now, when you get hit by this, don't panic. Relax. I know a lot of people panic when they get hit by this. Even when I got hit by it, I was a little bit like, what the? I wasn't panicking. I was more so annoyed, but don't panic. If you rush your appeal and you create a bad appeal, then you could lose your ability to be monetized on the channel. So don't panic. If you need to let it sit for a couple days, make sure you don't rush anything. This content reuse policy for 99% of people is more of an inconvenience than something that's going to kill their YouTube career forever. Obviously, it helps if you know for a fact that your content is transformative. Like for me, for example, I know that commentary is allowed. I know it's transformative. I know I do things that make it transformative. I'm 100% sure the appeal will be accepted if I take all the steps necessary and I talk about it in my appeal. But if I'm rushing the appeal, if I do it within like 15 minutes, then your appeal has more of a chance to be denied and you have less of a chance of being able to be monetized again. So take this seriously. It has definitely a lot of gravity behind it, but I do think it is pretty simple to beat. Now, I think it's important to go through what reuse content is, and this is actually going to help you make your appeal video better because you're going to want to cross-reference your appeal video with some of these points to signal to YouTube that your channel does not fall under reuse content. So YouTube says reuse content is content that is not clearly your own original creation. It may already be on YouTube or another online source and have no added significant online commentary, substantive modifications, or educational or entertainment value. So some examples of content that could be flagged as violating this policy: compilations or clips edited together with little or no narrative, short videos compiled from other social media, and these two right here, you can see why ranking videos may get hit with this a lot more. Collections of songs from different artists, content uploaded many times by other creators without significant commentary or editing, promotion of other people's content, content downloaded or copied from another online source without any substantive changes, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Content that gets views from mostly nonverbal reactions to your videos without added voice commentary. Now, when you get striked, you're going to want to appeal by video. And so some important aspects of this video is that it should just be a video. It should be less than 5 minutes long. You're going to upload it as an unlisted video. You're going to upload it to that channel that you're appealing from. And you're going to speak in a supported language, which shouldn't be that hard unless some of you guys are speaking like Latin or something. Then in the video, you're going to want to include the URL of your channel within the first 30 seconds of your video. They say to refer to the program policies. It says to make sure you address specific parts of the policies and give examples of how your channel follows the guidelines. You're going to focus on the channel as a whole, not just individual videos, because one video could be good and one video could be bad. And you're going to provide visual examples of how your content was created, showing how you edited or filmed the content, and try to connect with you, showing your video appeal to other content on your channel. And you can show yourself in the video, show how your content was edited, etc. So now this is the script that I actually used. I'll probably paste it in the description because it's kind of all over the place on this whiteboard thing I got set up. But here's the appeal script. Hi YouTube, my name is whatever your name is, and I own the channel, whatever it is. And then when you say this, you're going to, in your editing program, you're going to show your channel URL on the screen, as well as make a little text box on the screen and just pop that up. So in my case, it would just be this. And I left this on the screen for like 10 to 15 seconds while I was showing that I own the channel. And then I quickly refreshed the tab, showed that I had access to YouTube Studio and I had access to all the videos. Then I said, here's the channel URL and here's proof I own it. Keep in mind, I'm doing all of this pretty quick because the appeal video needs to be under 5 minutes and majority of the time is going to be spent talking about why your videos are transformative because you don't want to yap too much. I'm making this appeal video today because my channel was recently notified that it was ineligible for monetization due to reused content. So I wanted to make this video today to explain my editing process of how I make my videos transformative and show you why this aligns with YouTube's content reuse policy. I think the best way to show you guys how I do this is by showing you step by step how I make a video transformative. But before that, I want to quickly go over the reuse content policy so that way it's easier to see why this content is monetizable. So basically what you're doing is just spelling it out for these people. Now, I went directly to YouTube's program policies and I saw this reuse content section. And keep in mind, the reuse content policy applies to your channel as a whole. So under this, it says what is allowed to monetize. Since I'm doing commentary, I zeroed in on this bullet point under what is allowed to be monetized. That said, edited footage with audio and visual effects on top of the video's reuse content that demonstrates substantive editing and shows it's unique to your channel. And you could talk about all these edited footage from other creators where you add a storyline and commentary. Oh, this is pretty important. I should probably say this. This whole time I'm using a webcam, so use your phone, webcam, use whatever. You're going to edit this video together. When you're just talking, you're going to be the person on the screen, but when you're showing them something, you can pop that up on the screen. And then when you're showing them the editing process, you can put yourself in a webcam in like the bottom right or bottom left corner. You know, make sure they know you're a real person, okay? Now, if your content is actually not transformative and you're not actually doing any of these, like you're not adding any audio or visual effects, then yeah, that might be a little bit tough, but 9 times out of 10, you guys add some form of audio and visual effects and edit videos to create a storyline, a narrative. Even with ranking, you're creating a storyline because you're talking about, you know, top 10 best cheese pull moments or whatever you're talking about. And you're basically taking videos and you're compiling them to create a narrative. Bonus points if you add like a little bit of commentary here and there with captions, then you're set. You're good to go, my boy. But so I referenced the program policies and then I referenced what is monetizable. And then I said some examples of things that aren't monetizable is clips edited together. And then I said some things that aren't monetizable. And again, I just get this from this content that violates this guideline. Clips edited together with no narrative, content used without any substantive modifications, and content that gets views from mostly nonverbal reactions without added voice commentary. And then you kind of make your case. So before you show them how you edit your videos, you're just going to say, I'm going to be arguing my case that my content does fall under monetizable policy because I edit footage with audio and visual effects on top of the video's reuse content that demonstrates editing and shows it's unique to my channel. Tell them which point of this you're going to be arguing. If you have multiple, that's fine. But you're basically just trying to make a delineation from this stuff that isn't monetizable to this stuff that is monetizable and explaining why you're in the monetizable section. And now this is how I edit my videos to make sure they're in line with the reuse content policy. So now this is when it gets kind of channel specific. So I said to make my videos where I give commentary over videos online, I don't just rip off the video from someone else because that wouldn't be transformative. Again, you're saying to them, you're letting them know that you know what is transformative and what is not. If you're doing ranking videos, for example, to make my ranking videos, I don't just rip videos off from people online and put them together and call it a day. That wouldn't be transformative. So instead what I do is I take all the clips together, add the storyline, add the text, add a mask, add a blur, add transition, sound effects, etc. That's for ranking. So I take the original video and write a script about it. This is an example of a script that I wrote out for this video. I show them on the screen, the script that I wrote in the Google Doc. Then I do the audio voiceover, and you can do this with 11 Labs. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Just drag in the audio voiceover. You don't even need to show them that you generated it in 11 Labs. It has a voiceover. AI voiceovers are fine. Just drag in the audio voiceover to your editing software and then you cut it up. I showed them how I cut it up. So it's fast paced and perfect for audience retention. Then it comes to actually editing the video. And this is where I cut up the video as well as use zooms. And I'm just doing this to match the voiceover to the video so the audience sees what I'm talking about. And while I'm doing that, I'm showing on the screen how I cut up the video as well as sections where I use zooms and showing them that. Editing editing process as well as matching the voiceover to the video. You know, just show the reviewer what you're talking about. That's all. Then I went back to my channel, like as a whole. I went back to like this section. I said the videos on my channel are always cut up, and usually I'm pulling videos from several different sources. And then I showed them one video I did where I put like 6 different videos together to make one commentary video. But even if you're not doing that, it's fine. You know, just say the videos on my channel are always cut up and I'm pulling videos from different sources constantly. That's why every single video on this channel has a different original video. And I'm not just taking videos from one person. The whole theme of my channel is fitness. The whole theme of my channel is funny moments. And I edit all the videos like this, and you show them that. Then I said, while I'm editing, I add sound effects like pops and visual effects like arrows to show what or who I'm talking about in the video. This is editing that shows it's unique to your channel and it's video and audio effects on top of the video's reused content. In this specific video, I had to add a mask to blur the captions on the screen, so you could say that if you do that. Again, this is all like channel specific, but this is just an example of something I did. Then I'll always add a song that I think fits the background because usually the original clips have different or no music. Then I'll export this, go to a different editing software where I can add subtitles so the viewer can follow along. At this point, I stopped for a second. While I was doing the subtitles, the captioning for the video, I stopped and I told them, and I can't even show you guys everything that I do fully because these videos take me hours every day to make. Since I respect your time, I don't want to go over 5 minutes, so I can't show you guys everything, but these are just some of the bullet points that I hit on while I'm editing all these videos. Now, this is important, I think. So then I said, so the original video looks like this. So I grabbed the source video, or you can grab, you know, if you're doing ranking, just grab one of the videos, play it through. This is how the original video looks like. And then after my editing and transformation, the video will look like this. And I played like another 10 seconds of my video to basically show that I changed the background music. I added audio visual effects. I, essentially did everything in this monetizable section right here. I added captions. It's just a completely different piece of content than the original video. And this should be pretty starkly different. Like there should be quite a contrast here. So make sure that it is the case, because if the original video almost looks the same as like the edited video and the transformed video, then you clearly didn't transform it that much, right? Showing you my editing process, I think it's clear that I've transformed both the audio and video effects of the original clip, demonstrating substantive editing, which would make me eligible for monetization. Again, we're just driving home whatever point you're using here. We're just driving home how this falls under this bullet point. If you want to, again, you can always contrast like the content that violates this guideline. You could say like, showing you my editing process, I think it's clear that I've transformed both the audio and video effects of the original clip, demonstrating substantive editing, in contrast to it just being a short video that I compiled from other social media websites because I transformed it. You know what I mean? Then I went full screen again, full screen webcam. Thank you for your time and patience, as well as giving me a chance to appeal this. It means a lot to me, as YouTube is my job. I take a lot of pride in transforming these videos, as it takes me hours each day to make these. Thank you for your time and have a great day. That's what I did. I took one day to gather my appeal script and make the video, uploaded it the next day, submitted it to YouTube. Within 24 hours, my monetization was reinstated, and we are back to making money on that channel. Super simple. This doesn't need to be something that's crazy. Just make sure that it's under 5 minutes. Make sure you cut out all the fluff, all the silence, all the dead space in the video. You want to make sure every sentence is leading you to your next point or serves some sort of purpose in the video. I think my video ended up being like 4 minutes, 20 seconds or something like that. And just make sure you include everything that they want you to include, all the 4 steps that they want you to include in the video. Think about your content. If you got hit with Roblox, if you got hit with reused content on a Roblox video, is that your original gameplay, right? That could be a vector in which you push to show YouTube, like, this is original content. Think about your content. Think about everything that you do, how you add captions, how you add transformation to the video. Any of these things, sound effects, visual effects, cuts, zoom, how you source the videos, if you have to go through TikTok, even that is worthwhile. Don't spend too long on these things, because the video has to be very short, but make sure that you're actually showing all the steps to your process and stressing that, you usually do much more, but you only have a couple minutes here to tell them what you do. And unless your content is something that's like totally unmonetizable and you're just actually like reposting other people's videos, I think like 8 or 9 times out of 10, if you have a good appeal video, you'll be straight. So with that being said, I hope this video helps some of you guys out. Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't want to go super deep into it. I got a lot of like pain and health issues I've been dealing with. So obviously I don't know the upload schedule of this channel. I know that this is something that I've had many people ask me how to beat this. So I figure I might as well put this on the channel, for the future, give people a video that they can reference. This is everything I know. Of course, if you guys know anything in the comments, go ahead, drop it in the comments. Help each other out. That's why we have this community. Help each other out in the Discord, help each other out in the comments. We want to create a community of people that have a support support group to make their YouTube videos. So I hope all of that makes sense. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And yeah, hopefully I'll be uploading a little bit more, although it is kind of rough. So bear with me, but I love all you guys. You know, we got the best community in the game. So love you guys. Hope this video helps some of you guys out, and peace out.